artificial intelligence, it's not just changing how we shop or scroll anymore, is it? We're talking about AI actually starting to reshape, well, government itself. It kind of sounds like sci-fi, right? Straight out of a movie. But believe it or not, it's happening right now. And one state is really taking a bold step. Today, we're doing a deep dive into Pennsylvania's, frankly, groundbreaking decision. They're expanding AI use across pretty much all state agencies. Yeah, this isn't some small test run. It's a full-scale thing following some really successful pilot program. So we're going to unpack why they're betting so big on this tech, what they learned, the crucial lessons really about getting it right, and what this might mean for public services everywhere, maybe even where you live.
Absolutely. Our mission today is really to pull out the most important takeaways from this pioneering move. We'll look at the tangible benefits AI is bringing, sure, but also those trickier challenges, like how do you build and keep public trust with these powerful tools. Ultimately, we want to show you why Pennsylvania's whole approach could genuinely become a blueprint, a guide for how other governments adapt in this rapidly changing world. It's really not just about the tech. It's about the future of how government works.
Okay, so let's jump right in. AI is clearly moving past just being a buzzword in government. It's actual strategy now. Why Pennsylvania, though? What's the main driver for them making such a big move now? Is it just about saving money, or is there something deeper going on?
That's a great question. And it's definitely not just about cost cutting. Efficiency is a huge piece, no doubt. But what seems really fundamental here, based on the sources, is this drive to, well, fundamentally improve three key things: efficiency, transparency, and accessibility. I mean, governments deal with just an incredible volume of essential stuff, right? Processing forms, permits, managing complex data for health, safety. These things traditionally eat up so much time, money, and honestly, they often lead to frustrating delays for people.
Right, so it's about streamlining, getting things done faster, clearer for citizens. But it's more than just speed, isn't it? It feels like AI is kind of forcing a rethink of the entire workflow.
Exactly. And what really stands out is how these motivations tackle problems basically every government faces. Populations grow, people expect faster, better services, and there's always pressure to do more with less. AI, well, it promises to be a bit of a game changer here. By automating the repetitive stuff, sifting through data way faster than humans can, it doesn't just clear backlogs. It can actually improve the quality of decisions. Governments can spot trends, allocate resources better, all based on much more solid, real-time data. It's more than just efficiency. It's like a structural shift in how government operates. It frees up people for the more strategic, human-centric work.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit more, because AI in government can still sound pretty abstract. What did those pilot programs actually do, like on the ground? Our sources give some really good concrete examples. Can you paint a clearer picture?
Yeah, absolutely. And the pilots weren't about sci-fi robots. They were really practical things impacting daily work and how citizens interact. A major win was automating those repetitive admin tasks. Just think about all the forms, applications, data entry, driver's licenses, tax forms, record requests. AI was used to process these much faster and more accurately. It cut down the manual workload by, well, thousands of hours in some cases. Like maybe a system automatically scans and routes incoming documents, slashing the weeks, sometimes months it took for things just to get started.
Wow, yeah. That's a huge time saver for everyone, no doubt. But it wasn't just like digital paper shuffling, was it? The sources also mentioned improving data analysis for better policy decisions. How does AI actually do that?
Right, and this part is really fascinating. It's not just making fancy spreadsheets. It's about giving decision makers insights they just couldn't get before. AI can analyze huge, messy data sets from all over health records, traffic patterns, environmental data, social services use, and it can spot trends, connections, potential problems that a person might just miss. So, for instance, in healthcare, AI could help predict maybe where the flu might spike based on anonymous regional data. This lets officials act before it's a big outbreak. Or with roads, analyzing traffic and accident data to find dangerous spots, maybe leading to better road design. It lets state workers move from just reacting to being proactive, using evidence. It really changes their role from data entry to strategic thinking and oversight.
And critically, the sources really stress that the pilot wasn't just about the tech itself. It was hugely about building trust. Because let's face it, whenever AI enters government, people get skeptical. And maybe rightly so. They ask, what about my privacy, my job?
Exactly right. And that skepticism isn't just okay. It's essential, really. What's interesting about Pennsylvania's way of doing it was how they met those worries head on. They saw it as a chance to build confidence. They knew tech adoption isn't just technical, it's social. So they were remarkably transparent. Agencies didn't just roll out AI quietly. They shared how the tools were being used, set clear ethical rules, and importantly, they actively sought feedback from employees and residents. It wasn't a closed-door thing. It was meant to be an open conversation.
So not just a top-down order, they actually talked to the people most affected. How did that help with those worries about surveillance or job losses or data handling?
Well, that engagement was key. By being really clear that AI was there to help workers and improve services, not replace people or spy on them, they eased a lot of fears. For instance, when state employees saw AI handling tedious data entry, it wasn't seen as a threat. For many, it was a relief. It meant they could focus on more complex cases, talking to citizens, strategic work things where human skills are vital. And the early feedback from the pilot actually showed that employees found it useful. They weren't scared of automation. Many like offloading the routine stuff. That's a strong sign. It suggests that if you do it thoughtfully, AI can empower people, not push them out. Okay, this is where it gets really interesting for what's next. The pilots worked, so now Pennsylvania plans to roll out AI much more broadly. This isn't just a few small projects now, right? It's a full-on expansion. What does that actually look like? What are the priority areas? Yeah, this is the big step. The sources highlight several key areas where they're focusing the expansion, and the potential impact is pretty huge for citizens. In healthcare and human services, for example, AI could analyze anonymous health data, trends, even maybe environmental factors to predict upcoming health issues, like a local flu outbreak. That allows for targeted action before a crisis hits. It could also massively streamline things like applying for benefits, verifying eligibility, gathering documents faster, cutting wait times for people who really need help. And for case management, maybe AI helps caseworkers spot high-risk individuals or prioritize cases, ensuring quicker, better support.
So making essential services faster, more responsive, maybe even more personalized. What about things like roads and bridges? How does AI fit there?
Yeah, for transportation and infrastructure, we're talking about genuinely smart systems. Think AI sensors in roads or linked to traffic cams, not just counting cars, but analyzing flow in real time to adjust traffic lights, reduce jams. These systems could also monitor bridges and roads for tiny changes that signal wear and tear before it becomes a big pothole or a safety hazard. That kind of proactive, data-driven maintenance means fixing things before they cause problems, saving money and potentially lives, instead of just reacting to complaints.
That's a really powerful use of predictive tech. And public safety, that affects everyone.
Definitely. In public safety and law enforcement, the idea isn't replacing officers, but giving them better tools. AI might help analyze huge amounts of crime data to find patterns, hotspots, maybe even predict areas where certain crimes are more likely soon based on history. This could help deploy patrols more strategically, put resources where they're most needed, and for emergency response, maybe AI helps process 911 calls faster, filters non-emergencies, and dispatches the right units quicker, saving vital minutes.
And lastly, one that touches us all, environmental protection. What's the role for AI there?
For environmental protection, AI could be incredibly powerful. It can monitor pollution air, water, soil in real time, flagging anomalies or sudden spikes. It could use satellite images or drones to spot illegal dumping or deforestation that might otherwise be missed. And for wildlife, AI cameras or sensors could track migration, population health, even poaching, giving conservationists much better data faster. So yeah, the big goal behind all this expansion is pretty clear: creating a government that's more responsive, more efficient, and really more focused on the citizen. Every one of these uses, from health trends to police patrols, is designed to serve the public better, make government work better for everyone in the 21st century.
Okay, but no conversation about AI in government is complete without hitting the tricky parts, the concerns. The benefits seem clear, but there are serious questions, real challenges that need careful handling. It's not all straightforward, is it?
Not at all. And it's so important to face these directly, which, to their credit, Pennsylvania officials seem to be doing. The sources clearly point out the main worries. First up, always, is data privacy. Governments hold incredibly sensitive info, health, finance, social security numbers. The big fear is making sure that data isn't misused, breached, or exposed, especially as AI systems process more of it.
And then there's the related worry about algorithmic bias. Can you just quickly explain what that means for listeners?
Sure, algorithmic bias it's a very real risk. It happens when the data used to train an AI reflects or even magnifies existing societal biases. So like if historical data for a social service program shows one group got fewer benefits because of past inequalities, an AI trained on that data might accidentally continue that unfair pattern. even if no one intended it to. So Pennsylvania's challenge is making sure their data is fair and building checks to stop systems from making biased decisions, especially in really critical areas.
That's crucial, yeah. Building fairness in from the start. And then, the big one for many people, job security. Even with positive feedback from the pilots, that fear that automation will eventually replace government workers. It's
Yeah.
real and it lingers.
Absolutely. These are all very valid concerns. And what's notable is how Pennsylvania seems to be tackling them proactively, not just hoping they disappear. They're working on strict ethical guidelines for all AI use, creating transparent frameworks so people understand how these things work and what data they use,
Hmm.
and investing a lot in employee training. These aren't just tech fixes. They're essential safeguards. They're emphasizing that responsible expansion isn't just about the tech. It's about the robust rules and human oversight, ensuring it serves the public fairly and accountably. It's managing a transition, not just a tech upgrade.
So, bringing it all together, what does this really mean for you, our listener, and for other places? Pennsylvania's move, it isn't happening in isolation, right? It's part of a bigger trend.
Definitely. We're seeing governments everywhere experimenting with AI. There's this urgent need to modernize systems that are often pretty outdated and struggling to keep up with what citizens need and expect now.
Hmm.
Many public sectors are still running on old processes, and AI looks like a powerful, maybe even unavoidable tool for that necessary upgrade.
And connecting this to the bigger picture, Pennsylvania's approach really could become a kind of blueprint, couldn't it? This feels like more than just policy. It's almost like a new social contract being worked out.
It really could be. If Pennsylvania's wider rollout succeeds, if they show real benefits while managing those risks around bias, privacy, jobs, it could absolutely serve as a model for other states. The basic question becomes, how do we make sure this new intelligence helps everyone fairly? How do we build accountability that matches the power of these tools? Pennsylvania is wrestling with that right now, and their answer is, well, they'll likely shape public trust in government AI for years, not just there, but maybe across the country. It's fundamentally about how governments adapt, and Pennsylvania might be writing a really important chapter that influences how quickly and how responsibly others follow.
So, recapping our deep dive today, Pennsylvania expanding AI in government, it really marks a historic shift in how tech supports public services. It's a bold strategy, trying to blend AI's power with that crucial human oversight, all aiming for a smarter, faster, more transparent government.
And the big question now, really, is will other states follow their lead? And maybe even more importantly, how will you, the citizen, react and adapt as AI becomes, well, just a normal part of how you interact with government services? It's subtly reshaping things already.
It's definitely something deep to think about for your own communities. Stay curious about how this all unfolds because the future of public service is being built right now, state by state.